first things first, to all my Yu-Gi-Oh fans, and once again, if anyone has been watching the North America Nationals from day one, not only we saw Ancient Gears in a feature, but we also happened to see Horus Gimmick Puppets. But the thing is, nobody legit knew, well obviously thanks to the news support basically, but in terms of old cards, nobody knew what Gimmick Puppets did. So just like the last video, once again, as we disclaimer, TCG Land, they have new cards out while Master Duel is far out behind. So once again, I'm going to leave out new cards in the description or comment section below so that you guys can get a good review in as well, to make sure nobody will miss a thing from national season. And with that being said, let us not only, once again, as mentioned from the last video, we as the TCG community are going to hold each other by the hand and say, everybody, just like the last video, take out your notebooks, pencils, papers, erasers, everything. We're going to be here for quite some time, as we are going to do some studying on Gimmick Puppets. Gimmick Puppets happen to be a series of dark machine monsters who are all about rank 8s most of the time in terms of rank 8s. They also have a rank 4 in terms of doing those routes. And then even higher ranks that aren't 8s, basically rank up stuff. So let us go over the in-depth of Gimmick Puppets. You have 12 monsters, 4 spells, 1 trap, 7 XZs, and 1 Link monster. And once again, we are going to start backwards, and then we will work our way up. Start off with the trap, Puppet Parade. If your opponent controls more monsters than you, special summon Gimmick Puppets with different names from your deck up to the difference. Then, if your opponent's life are at least 2,000 higher than yours, you can set 1 rank up magic normal spell straight from your deck. And then for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special monsters except Gimmick Puppets. Hard once on Puppet Parade. The 4 spells. Junk Puppet. Hard once on Junk Puppet. Target and reborn 1 Gimmick Puppet. Simple. Hard once on Puppet Ritual, and to turn into this, you cannot get your battle phase going. The case is, if your opponent's life are at least 2,000 higher than yours, you can target 2 level 8 Gimmick Puppet monsters in your graveyard, special it out. Okay, so Junk Puppet and Puppet Ritual are basically Monster Reborn of Gimmick Puppets, only your graveyard specifically. Both are hard once. The twist is, Puppet Ritual, you cannot get your battle phase going, and your opponent's life gotta be 2,000 higher than yours to target and reborn 2, while Junk Puppet is target and reborn 1 Gimmick Puppet. Condolence Puppet. Each effect once. Send Gimmick Puppets monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard up to the number of monsters your opponent controls that were special summoned from the extra deck +1. Crazy card, to be honest. You can banish this. Target one machine XZ you control. Let me rephrase this, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think the people in the back can hear me. You can banish this. Target one machine XZ monster. It doesn't gotta be Gimmick Puppets. So most cases, you got something like Infinite Track, Trains, Gustav, Juggernaut, Mecha Phantom Beast, Draco Sack even. It cannot be killed by opponent's card effects while being face up on the field. Perform Puppet. Each effect once. You can banish this, or you can banish one Gimmick Puppet monster from your graveyard. All monsters you currently control become that banished monster's level until the end of this turn, even if it leaves. And then if a face-up Gimmick Puppet monsters, more than one, you control gets killed by a battle or opponent's card effect and sent to the grave, you can target one of your banished Gimmick Puppet monsters, special it out. Onwards to the main deck monsters. Gimmick Puppet Gear Changer. Can't be special from the deck, simple. Once per turn, target one Gimmick Puppet monster that's not the copy of this card. This card's level becomes the current level. Not once a turn. Gimmick Puppet Egghead. Hard once on Egghead. Discard one Gimmick Puppet monster, activate one of those. Burn for 800, or this card's level becomes 8. Gimmick Puppet Scissor Arms. Not once per turn, normal summoned, Foolish Burial, one Gimmick Puppet monster. Gimmick Puppet Destroy. Most cases, destroy. Once while face up, target one Gimmick Puppet monster anywhere on the field, self included, kill it. When this card gets killed from the field to the graveyard, well, if it gets sent from field to the graveyard, you can special one or two Gimmick Puppet monsters from your hand, not once a turn. Gimmick Puppet Humpty Dumpty. When this card is no more special, you can special one Gimmick Puppet monster from your hand, hard once on Humpty Dumpty. Gimmick Puppet Terror Baby. Upon normal summon, target one Gimmick Puppet monster in your graveyard that's not Terror Baby, special it out, and then you can banish this. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Gimmick Puppet monster effects this turn. And none of those effects are from Terror Baby, not one, or hard once per turns. Gimmick Puppet Dreary Doll. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other Gimmick Puppet monster from your graveyard, special it out. Hard once on that reborn effect. Cannot be used as material for XZ Shoken except the XZ Shoken of a Gimmick Puppet monster. Gimmick Puppet Magnedoll. If your opponent controls a monster and all monsters you control are face-up Gimmick Puppet monsters, minimum of one, free special from hand, and that effect is not once. Gimmick Puppet Twilight Joker. When a Gimmick Puppet monster you control gets killed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish that monster, special summon this card from your hand. Hard once on Twilight Joker. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, self-explanatory. We all know what's up about Albion the Sanctifier's use of Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. If you know, you know. Gimmick Puppet Shadow Feeler. It's been quite the long day, of course. Can't be killed by battle. When you take battle damage from an opponent's direct attack while this card is in your graveyard, you can special it out and face a attack position, and if you do, take that 1000 damage. Hard once on Shadow Feeler. If this card is an XZ material and will be sent to the graveyard, banish it instead. Gimmick Puppet Bisque Doll. You can special this out from your hand by discarding one Gimmick Puppet monster. You can banish this from your graveyard. Your opponent cannot target Gimmick Puppet monster you control within card effects this turn, and none of those effects are from Bisque Doll, not one, or hard once per turns. Now, the extra deck. Gimmick Puppet Gigantes Doll. To level 4 Gimmick Puppets is what it takes to make it. Detach 2, target up to 2 monsters your opponent controls, gain control of them until the end phase. Also, for the rest of this turn, you can't special except Gimmick Puppets, nor declare an attack except XZ monsters. You contribute this. All monsters you currently control become level 8, each effect once. Giant Grinder, a rather old card in terms of XZs. When it comes to Giant Grinder, up to twice per turn, not once but twice per turn during your main phase 1, detach 1, target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, kill it, and if that special summon monster were to be an XZ monster, burn your opponent equal to its original attack. And of course, its chaos form, which is Giant Hunter. Soft once per turn, detach 1, target 1 card your opponent controls, kill it, and if it turns out to be a monster that you just killed, burn your opponent equal to its original attack. Gimmick Puppet of Strings. Once per turn, detach 1, place 1 string counters on each face-up monster that's not strings itself, and then during the next end phase, of the opponent who placed a string counter by this effect, destroy the monsters with string counters, and if you do, burn your opponent 500 damage for each monster destroyed. And both effects are soft once per turns. Chaos Form, which is Dark Strings. Upon special summon, doesn't matter how it's special summoned, not just XZ Shoken, but if it's special summoned, destroy as many monsters with string counters as possible, and if you do, draw 1 card and burn your opponent, then burn your opponent equal to the highest original attack among the destroyed monsters in the graveyard. Your choice is tied. And then soft once per turn, detach 1, place 1 string counter on every face-up monster your opponent controls. Gimmick Puppet of Leo. The turn you use Leo's effect, you cannot conduct your battle phase. The case is, once per turn, if you have no cards in your spell trap zone, field spells do not count. Detach 1, place 1 destiny counter on it. If there are 3 destiny counters on this, Game over. Gimmick Puppet Disaster Leo. Must be special summoned with a rank up magic spell targeting number 88, original 88, and no other ways doing so. Anti-targets in terms of neither player. Once per turn, detach one, burn your opponent 1,000. During your end phase specifically, if your opponent's life are 2,000 or less, but does not reach 0, and this card has no materials, game over. And last but not least, Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll. 2 machines in general to make it. Once again, not just Gimmick Puppets, but 2 machines in general to make it. So that means infinite tracks, trains, desk bots, ancient gears, in terms of good examples, and many more about machines, cyber dragons even, in terms of machines. During your main phase, if you control this Link Summon card, activate this. You cannot special from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except MACHINIX. Also, take 1 Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck and either add it to the hand or send it to the graveyard. Then, if all monsters you control are Gimmick Puppet, minimum of 1, special summon 1 Gimmick Puppet monster from your hand. This is literally, I believe it's Lyrilusk Bird Call, but for Gimmick Puppets. And hard ones on Chimera Doll. Once again, this is James Polk giving you guys the in-depth guide on Gimmick Puppets. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys next time.